Persistency pays. The way that so many of us are persuasive, the way that so many historical figures have ultimately persuaded masses of people, is by staying persistent time over time over time. One of the single most important factors, which we'll talk about, is this idea of certainty. And persistency is an example of that. The people that are the most persuadable are the ones that are the absolute most persistent. If you want to get your dream job, don't take no for an answer. I can't tell you how many times somebody's come into our office, and maybe there was a first interview and it didn't go great, and they got the feedback, hey, we don't think you're a right fit. Probably 100 out of 100 times, that candidate left it there. It's the person that follows up and is willing to say the next week, the next month, the next 6 months, the next year, here's why I think we're a good fit. When we were fundraising, we had raised an initial round of capital of about $750,000. Then we were raising venture capital. It wasn't that easy to raise the venture capital. We talked to 40 venture capital firms. I had a spreadsheet, right? 40 rows down. I had them color-coded. And every single day for 4 or 5 months, I would call and email these venture capitalists and tell them, here's what we're doing. Here's why you should invest in us. And ultimately, it was one venture capitalist out of that list of 40 that stepped up. And had I not spent 6, 7 hours a day for 4 or 5 months straight, following up, being persistent, staying on top of those venture capitalists, they wouldn't have invested. Sometimes we have the belief that if we ask somebody for something and they say no, that no means a reflection of our own worth. That is not the case. You keep the core principle of sales is the no's are just a path until you eventually get to a yes. For every 9 people that say no, 1 person's going to say yes. It's the person in the arena that's willing to keep asking for what they want and keep demonstrating value along the way that will ultimately get what they want and persuade somebody to give it to them.